Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on the side effects of causing drama. Because, yeah, you got some entertainers out there, from content creators to musicians. You know, even you see in the acting industry and stuff, from actors and actresses, like you see from there. What else? Talk show hosts. What else do you got going on out there? It's like, yeah, man, you know, people, the thing is this. There are people that live for causing drama, and they love it. They love every inch of the, just, you know, I guess, like, just drama seeing its full course. And I know people will probably ask me, like, do I like drama, or at least being involved in drama or causing drama? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't like drama at all. Like, throughout my time of being a content creator, even the very first time, I would have to say I got into it with, and it wasn't even a content creator, it was his fan base. It was a few people within his fan base. But I've told, I guess, like, for my veteran listeners, you already know about this situation. But for those that are new to my podcast, so years ago when I was in high school, I decided that I was just going to randomly start hating on Ray William Johnson. I had no reason to hate on Ray William Johnson. The funny thing was, at the time being, I wasn't even a fan of his content, so I had no business watching his videos. And that was the thing. Like, I sit down and I think about that, and I'm like, man, I wasted my time with that whole situation. But then on top of that too, like, even back then when I was in high school, I realized that I'm like, there's no reason to hate on this guy. There's no reason to cause drama with this guy. But no, there was a few of his fans that had came after me, and they was all like, nah, you know, you hating on this guy. This guy ain't did nothing to you and stuff. So it's like, what's your frustration? What's your issue? You know, like, don't watch his videos if you don't like his videos and stuff. And what was funny was that eventually, at some point in time, I found myself, so this was a Friday or a Saturday night, or even a summer night with my friends on, like, Xbox party. We all will be playing our each individual games. Like, I'll probably be playing, like, Midnight Club or something like that, or Forza or Call of Duty with the friends or whatever. But anyways, but there'd be at times, like, where we just be sitting down. We don't even be playing the game and things. We just be scrolling through our phone, scrolling through social media or whatever. So I remember there was one time where a friend of mine, and that's actually how I discovered Angry Grandpa, the Angry Grandpa show. Rest in peace to him. But anyways, he was playing a video of his, but he was watching it through Ray William Johnson's channel. So he's watching the video. I'm over here thinking my friend is being yelled at by some old dude, and I'm like, fam, I feel like that I've heard your family members. I don't recognize that voice. Who's that yelling at you? I'm like, what do they got going on? I'm like, that don't sound right. That don't sound normal. All right, but no. Then he sent me the link. I was watching it, and I'm like, fam, I ended up, I don't know if it was that particular moment or if it was sometime after. Maybe it might even been before. I don't remember. But anyways, but no, around that time I did become a fan of Ray William Johnson. I was watching a lot of his videos. As a matter of fact, like, them guys would be playing the game, I would just be sitting back watching Ray William Johnson videos. So, like, that was the thing that I never understood, was that I didn't have a reason to hate on him. He did absolutely nothing to me. So as the years went on, and I developed more of a content creating mindset and stuff, I realized that drama is so pointless, bro. Like, to sit down and, like, just talk over some of the dramas that I've been in. I think a lot of you guys already know about the Just a Robot drama. Before that, I got into it with this racist YouTuber, Minnesota Boy. I'm pretty sure some of you guys remember that name. Before that, I got into it with this YouTuber and his fan. The guy's name was Clockwork Cyborg. But me and him, we ended up squashing the beef. Like, it was sometime after it had started. I remember I was going out to eat with my family, and then, yeah, we got the messaging each other and stuff. But we had, like, a mutual feeling towards the fan of his, this guy named Glenn Gregan. And he didn't want nothing to do with them. I didn't want nothing to do with him. So it's funny how, like, we ended up being cool with each other through, like, I wouldn't say it was, he probably might have hated him, but me, I'm like, I found the kid annoying. So it was one of those things where But yeah, with that kid though, it was for those that don't know how, because I know people are probably all like, yeah, how did all the dramas end, with everybody that you got into it with it. So me and Clockwork Cyborg, we had squashed the beef. Like I remember we sat down, we was all like, hey, stuff was said, stuff was done. Let's just put that behind us, move forward in life. We ain't gotta be friends, but let's just have a respect for each other. Cool. We did a little virtual dab up. We went on about our way. Glenn Gregan, on the other hand, he still was trying to hold on to that crap. Like he still was trying to cause drama with me, and it got to a point where I remember I went off on him one day. And then like there's like fans at the time that was frequently, because I like 2015, like I had like a rapid rise in the reaction community. So there was a lot of people at the time being where it was like reaction videos were kind of like it was popular, I mean, it still till this day is popular, but yeah, it felt like that it was a small community, like you didn't really see too many, so you made fans a little bit faster versus now. It's like, yeah, you got so many people out there doing reaction videos, from like big creators to small creators. It's kind of hard to like grow through the ranks and stuff. And so anyways, but there was fans at the time that was watching my videos, and they seen how annoyed that I was. I had to say Glenn Gregan was probably the one person that did upset me, because he was threatening friends of mine. Like he was saying things to them where it's like, fam, they didn't even do nothing to you. They guilty by association. It's like they did nothing to you. So yeah, I remember I went off on him one day. My fans seen it. They started harassing him. And then he posted a video of himself crying his eyes out, talking about, oh, my fans need to leave him alone. And I don't think I said anything about my fans needing to leave him alone. I'm like, nah, you getting the taste of your own medicine. You want to harass people, you gonna get harassed. So I'm like, I can care less if you a kid. I can care less about your feelings. You want to sit here and cry? Cool. I love that. I live for that. I'm like, that's the one thing. I'm like, and when you have moments like that, it really changes your perspective of like, getting into it with people. Because, I feel like people, they just want to throw that haymaker and whatever. They don't care. My thing is this. You get me to a point where I'm annoyed and I'm upset and all that other stuff, I'm gonna set out to make you cry. So I'm like, that's one of those things. I'm like, yeah, they might not ever come out and say it, but I guarantee and I promise you that kid, he wasn't the only kid that was crying because of something I didn't said or did and stuff. So, or my thing is this, I want to get you to the point where you are so upset to where you're just seeing red. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the thing is this, I don't like drama, but I guarantee and I promise you I'm going to defend myself if anybody's talking crazy about me, towards me, or anybody around me. All right, so, but anyways, but yeah, so that's how that went down. But he quietly just left. Like I remember he tried to get involved with this that Thomas the Tank Engine community, and then that was another situation where I had got into it with some people. And I will admit that I did kind of start that, but it wasn't my intentions to go after the community. I just wanted to go after Glenn Gregan. I seen that he was a fan of that show, and but I also seen that he was like talking with people. Like there was people that is older than me now that were pretending to be like trains from that community back then, and that was like 9 years ago. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you guys are. Let's just sit down and talk about that real quick. Y'all is 30-something years old pretending to be characters from a cartoon. Like, I get if you work for the show or something like that. You don't work for the show. You're a random individual. You are a random citizen. How do you think that looks where you're pretending to be cartoon characters for a TV show that's primarily watched by kids? Like, and it was funny because I remember saying that nobody ever did like respond to it. They were just upset the fact that I was going after the adults that was watching that show. And I'm like, okay, cool, watch that show, keep it within your household. But when you start getting involved in the internet, and it's like, fam, did you forget like kids get involved in the internet? And I'm not trying to hear no stuff like, oh well, their parents. No, you as an adult should understand that there are vulnerable kids out there. So when I look at stuff like that where you're pretending to be a cartoon character for a TV show that's primarily watched by kids, I'm gonna call that weird. I'm gonna say that you got some hidden agendas going on, and I'm like, and you need to be watched. If you got an issue with that, that is on you. Maybe you should change your profile and have it where, because my thing, it's, you look at anybody that them guys went to school with, you don't see nobody from their class, graduation class, even kids that was younger than them or older than them. You don't see them having no account where they're pretending to be no like no cartoon character and stuff. So what my thing is this: what's your reason for doing so? Why can you not be yourself on the internet? Like, that's the type of stuff that I find weird. It's like, okay, my thing is this. Let's say a kid invites you over to his house because he's like, oh, we share a mutual. You going to go over to that kid's house because y'all share a mutual respecting towards Thomas the Tank Engine? It's like, yeah, bro, it's one of those things. However you answer, you better choose wisely when it comes to that answer. But anyways, but yeah, overall though, I wasn't trying to go after that community, but I eventually ended up getting into it with that community, a few people within that community, no names I remember, because yeah, they were all pretending to be trains and stuff. So I was like, yeah, I was arguing with trains, fan fiction or fan made trains and stuff through Twitter and things, Twitter and YouTube. That's where it was mainly going down. It possibly could still find some videos of those guys where they were going after me and stuff. I know a lot of them deleted them because I was like, yeah, how do you think that looks? Grown man trying to defend his reasons on watching a kid's cartoon show. And I'm like, yeah, it's you sit down, you watch that video. If I get embarrassed by videos from back when I was younger, and these are videos where it's like, okay, I know I'm not gonna have to apologize or get questioned about these videos and things, but yeah, if I get embarrassed by those videos, I know them guys got, and that's why a lot of those videos got taken or they took them down and stuff, because I'm like, yeah, that's embarrassing. So, but anyways, I like how I don't like drama, but it's like I'm, you know, the way that I'm talking right now, it's like, yeah, if one of them Thomas the Tank Engine fans, they hear this, then it's gonna be 2016 all over again, and I ain't even trying to deal with that. So anyways, that situation moved on. Then eventually, it was like maybe shortly after that situation had started, I started getting into it with Just a Robot, because at the time being, there's this YouTuber. I don't know if he does videos still, but it was this YouTuber named Jinx. He reacted to this guy named Jax Films, and Jax Films, like, he's one of those guys where it's like, yeah, you get into it with him, it's like, yeah, it's, well, I mean, the thing is this, because he done got into it. I wouldn't say a whole lot of people, but I would say that he done had some memorable moments when it comes to people within the reaction community, because he got into it with Jinx. Yeah, Jinx reacted to one of his videos. I think that's what it was, is that Jinx didn't really watch his videos, so he didn't really know too much about him. And I know there's been times where I done reacted to videos and I don't know too much about the creator, so when it's my first time watching, you're going to see my genuine reaction. Yeah, maybe after about 4 or 5 videos, then yeah, I know a little bit about this person. I know the names and all the different individuals, because like, for an example, when I had started reacting to like McNasty, who else? I'm trying to think of some other people. But okay, so yeah, let's just use the people in the Rainbow Six Siege community. McNasty, the Dude, Blarg, Soup, who else? Jordy, who else? There's this one guy named Marley. I didn't know too much about them guys. So when you see, if you go back and you watch my very, very first reaction to those guys, my thing is this: I would have to say that I'm good at carrying a conversation about something that I don't really know too much about. But if I had to just go into there like without carrying on a conversation and just like show my genuine, I guess try to like match my reaction to something that I do know about to that, there ain't gonna be much of a reaction. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me figure out things as I'm actively reacting to this video. Let me try to figure out stuff that I can talk about, whether it's about the game or about a joke that they cracked or whatever. So yeah, but with Jinx, he didn't do that. So Jax Film went after him. I did this video defending people that do reaction videos, because at the time being, like, people were getting massively hated. Well, anybody that did reaction videos, they were getting massively hated on. Like, you didn't see guys like Markiplier, PewDiePie, KSI, Kai Cenat. I'm trying to think of some other big content creators out there. I think Mr. Beast, I think he did some reaction videos. But you didn't see guys like that back then doing reaction videos. The biggest creator at the time that did reaction videos was Jinx. So anyways, But I did this video where I was defending people that did reaction videos. Just a robot seen it. He, for some reason, decided to add his 2 cents into the video. His 2 cents wasn't needed, but he wanted his 2 cents to matter so much. And it's like, fam, you have to understand, this is the internet. Don't nobody care about your 2 cents. That upset him. And then that's how that ended up being, going on 9 years now. I'm like, going on 9 years. I'm like, at the, I think at the end of the year, it'd be 9 years. And then at the end of next year, 10 years of getting it. Well, no, actually, because it started in not the beginning of the year, but it didn't start at the end. I had to say like the hate and the unnecessary amounts of hate that started at the end of 2016. But nah, me and Just a Robot, we got into it early on that year. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, man, all that is just so pointless. Like put myself in them shoes where Clockwork Cyborg, the reason why me and him we had got into it was because he was in CJ So Cool, Jinx's brother. He was in CJ So Cool's comment sections promoting his videos. That's why I got on him about that. And I'm like, fam, you go somewhere else and promote your videos. Why are you all in his comment sections promoting his videos and stuff? Like, I'm like, what you got going on and things? And so anyways, but I look at that and I'm like, that's something that I wouldn't do. I ain't got to promote myself in nobody's comment sections. I'm not trying to sound cocky, but at the same time, I'm like, I ain't got to do no stuff like that. I would consider myself an entertaining content creator, so I ain't got to do no stuff like that. And then with Glenn Gregan, he was upset because I didn't want, or I didn't react to his favorite videos. Fam, do you know how many people are going to tell you no in your life? That's something that I accepted at a young age. I'm like, fam, people are going to tell you no. Like, have you not been inside of a store that sells video games? You ask your parent for a video game and they tell you no. I'm like, it ain't like a heartbreaking moment, but it's like, I'm trying to think. It's like you're like the hated wrestler kicking out at 2.99 or something, for my wrestling fans. You get that disappointment like, dang, bruh, that close. Like, we here, the game is there, they got it for the console that I have and I can't get it. Dang, bruh. That's why I'm like, yeah, being an adult, I'm like, yeah, you can get whatever game you want to get. You can do whatever you want to do and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, overall though, it's like you're upset because I didn't want to react to your favorite video. So what? It's one of those things where I'm all like, dude, and my thing is this. I think Glenn Gregan, I don't know his exact age because he was 14 at the time. So no, all right, so he's 24. He's 24. I remember him always because I kept calling him a kid. I was like, you have to be like a 9-year-old kid, like between the ages of 9 and 12. Ain't no way you in high school acting the way that you're acting and stuff. And he kept saying he was 14, but regardless though, it's like, my thing is this, either way, he will be an adult now. If you're still upset at the fact that I didn't react to your video over 10 years ago, you got issues, all right? That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, Minnesota boy, he was upset because I didn't want to be racist with him. Fam, I don't know you like that. But my friend, he ain't all the way white, but he's half white. I'm not going to hate on half of him or his whole, or half of his family and things because of a YouTube video that I watched where my thing is this. I've known that friend. But even his family, I'm like, I don't even really conversate with his family like that. But the thing is this though. I would rather take the time to sit down and conversate with them, see what their life goals is like, communicate, be cool with them, than to blindly follow a YouTuber. Where the funny thing is with Minnesota boy, he goes out and does a video where he was trying to say that, it was all a joke. So it's like, you inspired. My thing is this. There are people that you inspired to be racist back in 2015. You gonna tell me that was a joke? That's why I was like, yeah, bro, I ain't even trying to hear that. I'm like, you can say that it's a joke, but ain't nobody gonna believe that was a joke. So then, who else? I remember at some point in time, I got into it with a guy that was dressed up as Batman. Like, he would do, hold on for a second. Because he did like Batman Omegle videos. Let me see if that guy is still a thing. Batman Omegle. Let's see, cause is that him? I don't think that's him. Dang, whatever happened to that guy? I don't think that's him. These are random people. Yeah, I think that guy, he must have deleted his channel or he changed his name or something like that. But yeah, it was this guy that is this him? I don't think this is him. Nah, this ain't him. Cause that's not him. That's just some old random guy. But anyways, yeah, I remember at one point in time, I remember getting into it with, and that was just through Clockwork Cyborg, I remember. But yeah, I'm like, dang man, I almost forgot about that one. Like the times where I have talked on dramas and beefs and things, I always forget about that I beefed with a Batman cosplayer and stuff. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But anyways, but then what else after? Oh, then Thomas the Tank Engine fan base, getting into it with them. It's like, you sit down and think about that. It's like let me put myself in their shoes. I am a grown man trying to defend my actions of pretending to be a cartoon character for a TV show that's primarily watched by kids on social media, where it's like, fam, that kids is going to be involved in social media. They shouldn't be involved, but that's the thing though. When you give a child an iPad, and them parents don't know about child lock, child protective, and all that, like making sure that their kids are safe, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna find themselves talking to an adult that's pretending to be this cartoon character from some TV show that they watch. That's gonna be their main interest. I'm pretty sure my thing is this: you look at any TV show out there, they probably got Cocomelon accounts. They probably got I know they got Thomas the Tank Engine accounts, Sesame Street. They got all these different accounts. And my thing is this: I'm supposed to look at that as normal. That's not normal. Watch the show. That I'm not gonna take that away from you. You watch that show as many times as you want to watch that show. I know I find myself, I'll be watching whatchamacallit, clips of SpongeBob, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, they are kid shows, but they ain't like them educational kid shows and stuff. So that's why I'm like, I ain't learned nothing from those shows. I should have been watching those educational kid shows, but it wasn't entertaining. They sitting around doing math problems and stuff, bunnies and freaking what are some other. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of them type of shows growing up. I'm like, nah, man, put on a good cartoon show. Put on a show that's gonna make me laugh and things, But anyways, but you don't see me pretend to be no cartoon character from them TV shows. I don't be pretend to be Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. What else? But overall though, it's like, cause the thing is this: I am an adult. That's not gonna look right. Me pretending to be a cartoon character from, and it ain't even so much as about, oh, I'm worried about what my friends would think. I'm worried about, no, I'm not trying to go to prison. I'm not trying to have it where it's like, cause the thing is this: you do some stuff like that, it's like, okay, you are gonna get questioned. Why are you have every right to do whatever you want to do and be whoever you want to be on the internet, but when you're being a cartoon character for a TV show that's primarily meant for kids, that's weird, bro. That's weird. And I know people gonna probably be all like, oh, well, like, I feel like people try to flip that on me and be all like, oh, so kids don't watch your content. Yes, kids do watch my content, but that's the thing though, they're looking for me. When they're coming across Thomas the Tank Engine, they see all these different accounts, and then they see your account. It's like, the thing is this: I have nothing to hide being who I am. So that's why I'm like, if a kid watches my videos, then a kid's watching my video. But at the end of the day, it's like, y'all know what I look like. Y'all know who I am. What am I gonna possibly do when it comes to hiding? I'm like, I'm not dumb enough to throw my career away like that, so that's why I'm like, it's one of those things. I'm like, you won't ever have to worry about me being off up in no situation like that. But anyways, I'm like, that's people like EDP and stuff, or people like and then leading to the next person, just a robot, and it's like, you sit down and you think about it, and it's like, he reminds me of myself when I was a kid, because it's like, I hated on Ray William Johnson for no reason, and then he hated on me because literally for no reason. He wasn't affected by me. He wasn't affected by my videos. I never reacted to it. The first time I reacted to his video was this year. This year was the first ever time I reacted to any of his videos. So that's why I'm like, fam, you can't say, oh, I went after you because you reacted to my videos. The thing is this: I more so reacted to them because of all the stuff that was going on recently and stuff and things. If none of that would have never happened, I never would have seen myself reacting to his videos, because I'm like, them videos, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Them videos is not entertaining. So my thing is this, right? You go and put myself in just the robot shoes. it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, bro, you got way too much going on, and it's something where I'm like, you need to be worried about bettering your life versus, oh, this YouTuber did a video talking about he's defending reaction channels and reactors and all that other stuff. How does that affect your day-to-day life? How does that prevent you from getting a job? How does that prevent you? If my thing is this, if anything, you're the one. If you, for those that don't really know too much about Just a Robot, so it's funny because he goes and he's talking about like it's his mouth, like who he is as a person. That's why he can't keep no job, And then what else? Can't keep no friends on the internet. People they pretty much turned their backs on him and stuff. You got so much going on in your life. You sit down, take the time to be worried about some people that ain't did nothing to you. It's like, that's why I'm like, with him, it's kind of like a thing where I'm like, I'm curious to see how that comeback's gonna be, because I don't think it's gonna be like how he's thinking, where it's like, oh, everybody's just gonna ignore this and they're gonna move on. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. I've been a content creator long enough to know that people don't move on from drama. They don't move on because one content creator that I can reference where people haven't moved on from the drama surrounding him and KSI was it was this guy named Gujan Daniel. So Gujan Daniel, and I've told this story a few times, but anyways, for those that are new to my podcast, so Gujan Daniel, he pretty much turned his back on KSI. And KSI, he went off on him. Like, KSI was like, I'm not having that. I gave you a platform to display who you are as a person and things, and this is the thanks that you that you give me and stuff. Nah, we ain't going out like that. And it's crazy. Hold on for a second. Let's just see what Gujan Daniel, how do you spell Gujan? There we go. Okay, I was like, I was spelling it right. I was spelling it right. He don't even do videos no more. That's the crazy thing about it. It's like, you go and you look. Last video he did was 4 years ago. And let's just see some of the recent comments. Let's see. Newest comment 5 months ago. Then there's like, somebody's like, this guy's face brings back memories. No Diddy. And then, I mean, yeah, okay. So there's all like, there's some people where there's like, yeah, they still talking about KSI thing. But yeah, last time he got a comment was 5 months ago. I'm like, oh, does he stream on Twitch? When is the last time he streamed on Twitch? Oh, no, he don't stream on Twitch. Does he even like do anything online anymore? Like, hold on for a second. I gotta do some. Oh, he got kids now. Oh, wow. Dang. That's why he's all like, he's a cop? Oh, wow, that is a crazy plot twist. Okay, KSI follows him. That is bro, he is married with kids and he done became a whole cop. That's wild. That is wild. That's one of those things where it's like, you don't look up and expect to see that. Like, wow. That's some wild stuff, man. You see a lot when it comes to the internet and content creators and all that stuff. Yeah, that's some wild stuff, man. He is a whole cop right now. Shout out to Gujan Daniel. I know him and KSI. They did squash their beef and stuff. I remember they did post a picture with each other and stuff. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's good that they put that stuff behind them and things. Oh, he's been a cop for a minute now. He's there's like going all the way back to 2023. That's insane. You think like, okay, one day he gonna come back and do some content creating stuff, and it's like, nah, bro. This man, he's been a cop since 2022. That's why he ain't doing no content. He's all like, bro, I am a whole police officer. He's like, I am serving and protecting. He's all like, bump all the entertainment stuff. He's like, I am a whole police officer. That's crazy. That is some crazy stuff. Yeah, they showing like an old picture of him and things. I'm like, yeah, man, that's wild. That's some wild stuff, man. Yeah, shout out to Gujan Daniel. But anyways, but yeah, I have to say that he's somebody that's like living proof of what happens. Like the side effects of causing drama. You cause drama and it overall ruins your career. So it's like, it's one thing where, maybe he might be able to come back. And even the crazy thing is, because I remember that it was some time ago. I think it was when KSI did his first boxing match. It was around that time, or it was either the first his first amateur fight where he went, I can't think of that guy's name, or it was the Logan Paul fight, one of them two fights. But anyways, I remember he posted a picture with KSI, Gujan Daniel did. It didn't matter. People, they still were going in on him and stuff, and I'm like, dang, man, hey, he can't catch no break. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, people need to understand that it's like, you living for that drama life, but it's like, bro, it's not needed. It ain't necessary. Trust me, you would do a lot better if you don't cause drama. All right. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Key thing that you need to pick up from this episode is that when you cause drama, it's gonna have some side effects. All right. So anyways, it's either gonna be people digging up dirt on you, other people gonna be starting stuff with you, fans is gonna be coming after you. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know, be careful. It's one of those things. It's like, if you don't need to do it, don't do it, you know. But anyways, yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.